Hello! Today we want to introduce you to our new pets. No, not those 3 boys. Our new pets are the honeybees, which we got about a month ago. This is all new to us, so we are excited to learn about the honeybees together with you. One of the first things we noticed is that the bees coming back into its home carry orange balls on their back legs. Touch your knees if you can see some of these orange balls. It turns out that the balls are pollen, which the bees collect by using their jaws and legs to scrape it off of flowers. The bees then add a tiny bit of honey to the pollen to make it stick together, and they pack the pollen tight into a pollen basket on its back legs. When the basket gets full, the bee brings it back to its home, where it becomes food for all the bees, but especially for baby bees. Can you guess what is the other food that honeybee needs to eat? Honey! The white part of this honeycomb is filled with honey under the caps. So besides pollen, the other thing that bees collect from flowers is nectar. Bees collect nectar to make honey to feed their babies, and also so that they can have something to eat during the winter when there are no flowers or nectar. Bees also eat honey because it gives energy for bees' muscles to fly and also to help bees to warm up the hive in the winter, which they do by flapping their wings really fast. Luckily for us, bees will make way more honey than the colony needs, so we can collect the extra honey for us to enjoy. Raise your hand if the color of this honeycomb looks different to you. These brown capped cells do not have honey in them. Under these brown capped cells are baby bee worms called larvae. A bee is like a butterfly. Every bee goes through 4 stages to complete one life cycle. They are the egg, larva, pupa, and adult. It starts when the queen bee lays 1 egg in each cell of the honeycomb. It takes 4 days for this egg to hatch into a white larva, which looks like a white worm curled up. Then other adult bees, called worker bees, feed the larva, so the larva grows and grows. After about 5 days of eating and molting, the larva will stop eating and spin itself a cocoon and begin to take the form of a pupa, much like a caterpillar. This cocoon is sealed into the cell by other bees. Those are the brown caps. All these cells circled in green are what is called capped brood, which are cocoons with pupa inside. In the pupa stage of their life cycle, there are really big changes that happen to the larva. The larva transforms from something that looks like a white worm to a furry bee with legs, eyes, and wings. When the pupa has finished transforming, they chew their way out of the cell and come out as adult bees. The last stage of the bee is being an adult. We say that honeybees are social insects because they live together in a large group called a hive or a colony. It takes many, many thousands of adult bees to help do all the jobs to keep the whole colony alive. There are 3 types of bees in a hive. Most of the adult bees are worker bees, who have many, many different jobs. They keep the hive cool or hot by fanning their wings. They fly out to forage for pollen or nectar from flowers. They bring pollen to feed the baby larva. They produce wax honeycomb, which is where they store a lot of things. They guard the hive from intruders. And they even clean out trash by taking it outside the hive. Only 1 bee in the entire colony is the queen bee, and her job is to lay the eggs that will grow into the next generation of bees. The queen also produces smells that guide the behavior of all the other bees. The third type of bee are male bees called drones. Their only job is to mate with a new queen. Bees have so many jobs, but by working together, they can keep the colony going for many years. There are just 2 more interesting things about bees I want to share today. As bees fly to different flowers to collect nectar and pollen, some pollen gets rubbed off on other flowers or gets transferred between the male and female parts of flowers, allowing plants to grow seeds and fruit. This is called pollination. It means that bees help other plants to grow. The other thing is that bees talk to each other, not using words, but with different dances and by giving off different smells. Bees tell each other where to find good food and where there might be something dangerous. Can you imagine what it would be like if you could not talk, but only dance? Well, that's all I have today. Join us next time when we learn more about how bees make honey.